Hello, welcome to another exciting show of DK and the Hawk. I'm the Hawk. My co-host there, DK. We're ready to. We got some good stuff lined up today. We're going to talk about hockey first, then we're going to go to baseball, and there's probably going to be a rant about baseball in there, and then we're going to go to football. We got a special guest, or maybe a few coming up for a mock draft. I'll be the commissioner, so don't boo me too hard, please, and we will have some fun. I know everyone's going to boo me, but
I'm
I don't have
excited
the
for the show
dog
today,
in the
buddy.
fight in the first round, so
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
yeah, it's going to be fun. So let's
It was beautiful weather yesterday, and it's snowing out my window today. So here in Canada, so
we have no snow,
let's have some
so
fun inside today.
but it's coming.
No snow, nice.
So
Must be nice to live up north where it's not snowing. That makes no sense, but whatever.
that's right.
I'm not bitter.
We're snowing where you guys are.
Yeah, I had to bring the sunscreen in
No, let's.
so it didn't freeze.
Oh, did you?
That's the kind of country we live in.
George,
So tell you.
George got burned
Anyways,
last night or yesterday.
of course she did. She gets
We're sitting on
burned.
the patio
Like,
having a beer.
your wife would get burned like standing in front of the bathroom light. Okay.
I know.
I've seen her
It's
get
funny.
burned.
She's like, I think I'm getting burnt. I'm like, what the?
Really?
So,
Jordan, if you're watching, I love you. You're amazing, but you burn. Like, I remember when we were on that
yes.
float, you burned like 15
And she was
minutes.
all,
I was like, oh my God.
yeah, she was all covered up.
Anyways,
So
yeah.
no, we were supporting some local pubs yesterday on the deck. Patios are open,
That's
so
awesome.
go out there, support the patios that are out there. I think you're gonna see a lot more parking lot patios.
Yeah.
So go out, grab a beer, and grab a meal or something, and it's support everybody, right?
Yes,
Especially
tough
the
times for sure.
small businesses.
I agree.
So, but we'll get into hockey here right away. Montreal Canadiens spring fling collapse continues. Not
Yeah.
only are they allowing Calgary in, but they've opened the door for the Vancouver Canucks. 5 games in hand, 4 against Ottawa, 2 against Toronto, starts tonight. They have a realistic shot of catching Montreal.
I agree.
What do you think?
I think this could be a Disney movie, man, like called the COVID Canucks or something. Like it's like I think it's 6 games in hand on Calgary and five or 4 on Montreal. And I'm not sure how many they have against Montreal left. They have 4 against Calgary.
They got none
If
against Montreal.
they don't, yeah, they've already played Montreal, so it's gonna be tough. It's a little
Already played
tougher,
Montreal.
but yeah, Montreal is not looking like that juggernaut. And
Yeah.
I think if Calgary or Vancouver could get in, they will upset Toronto because they'll be playing playoff hockey for a month straight. And Toronto's kind of been like all season. He's been like that number 1 team. So yeah, I think you got a Disney movie in
I
the
agree.
making here. You could have like basically replacement players for the Canucks tonight. And as a Calgary Flames fan, I am cheering for the Canucks in this thing. If Calgary can't do it, that that would just be like unbelievable story coming back from all the adversity and getting
I
into
mean,
the
COVID. I mean,
postseason. Like,
you had JT Miller who spoke up, said this, we'll play, but the schedule's unfair. The NHL listened. I think they also had the doctors and the owners and stuff say, hey, you know what, guys haven't passed their medicals yet. You want us to play with half an AHL team and stuff? It's
yeah,
and I think even Edmonton, Toronto, those teams were like, well, no, we need to wait till they're back to being at least 75% of NHL players. So
yeah,
tonight you're going to get Cole Kin. He's a prospect, second rounder from Kelowna a few years ago. He'll be playing. You got a couple emergencies, but I mean, they're going to come out battling. Demko's going to come be in the net as far as I know, and it's going to be. I'm excited, man. I'll tell you that much. I'm looking
I
forward to
believe
it. Let's see what
Holtby
they
gets
have
the
now.
start tonight. Braden Holtby is the starter
Oh, it could be Holtby.
for
Yeah,
tonight's game.
maybe Demko's still a little ill. No.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know Holtby was one of the players that was sick too. Like, I think basically almost every player, every starter was sick at one point. The guy that kind of,
Yep.
I don't mean the guy that started it, but the first guy that got it, Gaudette, he was dealt at the deadline. So,
Yeah, and there's talks
anyways,
to be
yeah,
trade anyway, so they got some
it's a
hardworking players
wild
back in return.
scenario.
And, I mean,
Yeah.
Yep. And now you're
Well,
gonna have 4 or
situation
5
for
different.
Vancouver to
You're
be
gonna
in.
have 6, 7 different Canucks tonight. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree. It's gonna be interesting though. I'm excited, man. I mean, get on the ice at home against Toronto, 2 against Toronto, 2 against Ottawa at home. Then they go to Ottawa for 2. I mean, they take 5 and
Yeah.
6. They're right back into it. They're
Yeah,
right
that's
back
the
into
point.
it.
Like,
And it starts tonight.
yeah, like games in hand are one thing, but you got to remember you got to win those games. Now, if you can win
Yep.
them,
No, for sure.
I think it would be remarkable if you guys being on a layoff this long could could beat Toronto in like it's in Vancouver.
Yep.
I'm sure the game's going to be early because that's what happens. I don't know what the start
Well,
time
that's
is.
because all the
Well, the
Toronto Maple
Eastern
Leafs
guys
fans have to be
go
in
to
bed
bed
by
early.
8:00. So,
Uh-huh.
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And don't worry, you guys will have an early first round exit too, Toronto. Mark my word. Mark my word. Trade
Well, there's going to
deadline
be
came.
some.
Any surprises on the trade deadline?
Um, Personally, what we got for Sam Bennett was a steal. We got a second round pick
Yep.
in next year's draft, not the draft coming up, but the next year's draft, and we got their second round prospect that they just took in the last draft. So basically, 2 twos for a player that didn't want to be there anymore, and he basically had been reduced to a fourth line role. Huge,
Yep.
huge trade. It's too bad for Sam Bennett, like being where we drafted him. He's the highest draft pick Flames ever had, and like guys that
Yep.
went in that draft
One behind
after
Draisaitl.
him. Yeah, you look at that draft, like David Pasternak at 26. That's the steal of the draft. There's a
Yep.
lot of good NHL players that went in the middle tier of that draft. We could almost do a show on the 2014, I believe that year was, on that draft
Not as
alone.
good as the 2008
I
draft.
wanted.
2008 draft was the best draft.
Yeah.
I think it was 2005,
Yeah, we could do one on
2008, the one with Kessler and those boys, Carter, Richards.
Yeah, I think that was 05.
So, no, yeah, it was because they had the lockout, so a bunch of them played in the minors,
Yeah.
AHL and stuff, and it was,
That's when they had the best world junior team because most of the NHL guys were off, so they could play.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, the trade deadline. What I'm thinking, maybe we could just go through the Canadian moves, the Canadian teams made.
Yep.
So we'll start with Calgary. Like I said, Sam Bennett trade was great. They ship off David Reddick to Toronto for a third round pick in 2022. Also good. They weren't going to re-sign him.
Gone.
Big save, Dave. He was a decent goalie for us. He wasn't the number one superstar. Yep. He was a pretty good 1A though, or 1B, I should say. When we had Mike Smith and David Reddick. Wasn't good in the playoffs in relief when he came in. Writing was on the wall when we signed Markstrom, so he wasn't going to resign. So getting a third round pick is a good deal there, and that's basically all the moves the Flames made. Oilers, I believe they just traded a late round pick for a depth defenseman. Didn't do much. That was very surprising. I thought they would load up on a top 6 forward, maybe Mike Hoffman or somebody along those lines. What do you think of the lack of moves? And I want to steal your favorite line, right? But parades are too expensive. Remember you saying that to me when the Flames made no moves. So maybe, but why don't you rip into the Oilers on this one? Because you've been giving it to me since the Flames were first in the West and they made no moves and we got bounced in round 1. So
could have got Mark Stone. Could have got Mark Stone.
Parades are too expensive.
Parades are too expensive. Prospects are free. We don't want to have a litter party out there watching the Flames take the Stanley Cup down the Red Mile, which they could have. They would have got Stone, but no, they did nothing, and they paid for it. The first round exits. Just like Edmonton. Edmonton, you guys messed up. You guys messed up big. You needed a big, bruising, hard, playing nose defenseman and a top 6 forward. And you have the capital. You can trade you guys. Get rid of some draft picks. Get rid of some prospects. Again, prospects, some turn out, some don't. But you know what? You guys messed up, and you're not going to get out of the North Division this year. St. Louis aren't going to get out of the North Division. I think it's going to either be the third place team or the fourth place team. Winnipeg making a move early, getting rid of Liney for Dubois was probably one of the best trades that's in the North Division. To be fair, I think you know they set themselves up with a big centerman like that. And I mean, yeah, they're having trouble with Edmonton, but come playoff time, it's a different game. And Edmonton's going to be in the same boat. Yeah, you can get a lot of goals, but when it comes down, it's grinding. You guys made no moves. And I mean, again, no parades in Alberta this year because you didn't make no moves. And like I say,
yeah, I agree.
parades are expensive.
And my take. This is off topic because we're talking trade deadline, but Oilers are a great team when they're getting calls.
Yep.
They got the best power play in the league. It's not close. Playoffs, you don't get those calls. You're not getting 5-6 power plays a game.
Yep.
McDavid's not gonna be wide open on that flank for that move that can't be stopped when I'm watching them on the power play. They're unbelievable. But that's just the nature of the beast in the playoffs. You're not getting 4 or 5 power plays every game. You might get 1 or 2. So that's just my thinking. I don't think the Oilers get out of first round. I think they'll probably end up playing the Jets. I think the Jets are a tougher team, better goaltender. Mike Smith is playing good for Edmonton now, but we all know Mike Smith, he ain't a playoff performer.
Yep.
So I see the Jets and the fourth place team beating Toronto. And then it'll be, I honestly see the Jets getting out of Canada in this one. The former Atlanta Thrashers winning the Canadian division.
Yeah, I think they will.
But we're going to do a playoff preview show on a different date. So let's move to Vancouver. They made a couple moves. Not to win.
Looking here.
I think they were just selling off assets.
Yeah, they traded Jordy Ben for Huey or Howie or whatever. A guy who works hard, plays hard, right? I think they need some lunchbox kids. They also traded Gaudette for Matthew Highmore, again, another kid who works hard. I mean, he's a classic fourth liner, third liner who's going to bang battle. They got Travis Boyd off waivers. They got Versi off waivers. A couple Maple Leafs there that is trying a lot of depth. It's going to be a different team. It's going to be and I think with those moves, I think Gaudette was going anyways. It wasn't COVID related. They got something out of Jordy Ben with him being traded to Winnipeg. And, I like those moves. So they could have made more about the COVID stuff. I was actually surprised they did. I think Virtanen's gone at the end of the year, but they got some, like I said, they got some hardworking kids coming this way. And
Virtanen's restricted free agent. So if they can qualify him or they can, it was the same as Sam Bennett. He was the same draft class. So basically if Florida wants to keep Bennett, they will qualify him. If not, then Sam Bennett will become a UFA. So we'll see what happens there. Same with Virtanen. He kind of reminds me of Bennett. He was drafted high and he hasn't really come into his own.
Shotgun Jake.
Scenery for Virtanen. Good work.
And I think a change of scenery will definitely help Virtanen. I like him. He's a hell of a player. He's a power forward. I mean, when Bertuzzi got traded from Islanders to Vancouver, he came out of his shell, and I think that's what's going to happen with Virtanen. I think he's going somewhere out to the East Coast.
Sometimes just changing teams
helps. Well. Yep. But I mean, he's told the line, the Canucks line. He wasn't doing what Sam Bennett did, was crying, saying, "Oh, I can't play this, that, right?" But I think you're not that good, Bennett. Put it that way. You're a playoff guy, or you don't playoff because they don't call penalties in the playoffs. But
he's reckless.
Yeah.
When it gets rougher out there, he feeds off it. He's a good power forward. He'll be a good player in the future.
I think he's a great addition to Florida. I think Florida, with the way they're going, I think a great addition for that franchise. Doing his thing. So Montreal, I don't know what kind of moves they made.
Yeah, they
kind of loaded up
made a bunch of
some depth.
small moves for D-man. We don't really have to get into it. We already
Yeah.
Toronto made a pretty significant move trading for Foligno, where they kind of used San Jose
Yep.
to take some cap. Ended up getting a pick. I think that's going to be a significant move. Nick Foligno is I was reading that Toronto now has 4 former NHL captains in their lineup: Joe Thornton, John Tavares, Nick Foligno, and I'm spacing on the other one. But anyways, I think that's a great move for them. He was a big part in beating them last year in the bubble, in when Toronto met
Yep.
Columbus. I I like that move, and with Toronto is setting themselves up. I still think the 4th team that gets in will have a very good shot to beat them. But I still wouldn't be surprised if Toronto finally came out of their shell and
Oh, and
started winning some playoff rounds here.
Speza's
So
the other.
good moves.
Speza's the other guy. So
Spezza, right? Yeah.
Speza's
And
the
the
other
last
captain.
team,
So
Winnipeg. Winnipeg didn't really do much. They acquired. Is that where Jordy Ben went? Did Jordy Ben go to Winnipeg? I
yeah,
think
he
that's
went.
where
Jordy Ben
we
went
traded
to
him
Winnipeg.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
As
Ottawa.
far as I know,
Ottawa
busy
sold
week.
some of their UFAs off for younger versions, so we don't really have to get into that too much. Ottawa is what
But I
they
think
are. They're
Winnipeg made.
rebuilding still.
Yeah, Winnipeg made the biggest move of the whole North Division to trade Liney for Dubois, and Liney went
that's
second, and
earlier. Yeah.
Dubois went third in that draft.
Yep.
So
And I believe Columbus came out and said
okay,
they
so
wanted Lane, and Winnipeg wanted Dubois, but they ended up talking themselves into taking Lane when they won the lottery and moved up. So
yeah,
everybody gets what the player they wanted. Lane is
everybody's happy
struggling with
except for Lonnie.
Torts. So
Yeah, I
good
can't
trade
see
for
Torts
Winnipeg.
being there much longer either. I think Torts is. I think his welcome's being worn out. Love him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Old school, love the old school, but I think it's time to move on. So speaking of moving on, we're gonna move on to some baseball. Your thoughts on a new, slimmer, more powerful Vladi Guerrero Jr.
Well, this is the Vladdy that we were all waiting for in 2019 when he debuted, and then he kind of came in big, and we're like, what's going on here? You don't look like your dad. You're not hitting home runs. When he did hit a home run, it would go a million feet. But this is the consistent player that Toronto has been waiting on, and you're finally seeing it. I'm super frustrated with George Springer getting hurt. I was really looking forward to him playing with these guys to see, like, when he does come in, I feel like Toronto is going to be one of the best teams in the league. See them winning the division. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to some playoff baseball again.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. I'm hoping they can get to Toronto, play some playoff baseball. But I mean, let's not forget the trade that they made with the Mets, getting Steven Matz, and the guy's been stellar right out of the box. Ryu has been great as an ace, and then you have Robbie Ray threw in. He's back. He's throwing hard, the lefty. The Yankees have been going after that guy for the last couple of years. I mean, they got 3 great starting pitchers. With Guerrero, who's going to lead that team offensively, he's got the most hardest hit balls hit this year. Plus, he hit a 465-yard dinger there. The other night in Kansas City. Kansas City's not in all feet. Yes, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. I mean, Kansas City's a tough. Kansas City's a tough place to hit bombs, and he's got raw power. You got Bichette. I think Bijou at third's a little suspect right now. You can tell he's getting frustrated. I think they're going to have to do something there. Maybe move Simeon over. But overall, when they get Springer back, and Grichuk's playing well, they're going to. I mean, they've taken 4 out of 6 against the Yankees. It's these bottom-dwelling teams they have to beat. Kansas City, you got to take 2.
Yep.
2 now. You have to win today. Okay. Should have taken 2 out of 3 from Texas. But
Yeah.
I mean, Boston right now is flying, 10 wins, first team in the AL to get 10 wins. But we're going to talk about the most epic, most how do I call it? Most anticipated season series, the Padres and the Dodgers. This series is far from over. 2 games, 2 epic games. I mean, from bench clearing brawls to home runs to extra innings. I mean, this thing is as good as it's going to get. Bauer's on the mound today. I'm looking forward to Bauer pitching against the Padres, doing his little Conor McGregor strut. I'm looking at someone hitting a home run off Bauer from the Padres doing the Conor McGregor strut. And then there's going to be a brawl. So this thing is far from
that's
over,
always
man. We love it.
stuff, right?
Oh,
First
it is.
month
I
of
mean, the
baseball,
playoffs
we're
last year
having
showed it.
bench clearing brawls. So, yeah.
Oh, man, it's great. I mean, you look at the other day when Nick Castellanos was getting over the pitcher there saying to stop, and then there's a bench clearing brawl. And, you know, baseball's back. Baseball's back.
Yeah, that's when it's...
Everybody loves it.
I love to see that.
You know, but I don't know if you were watching the game last Sunday. Atlanta, Philly, the guy slides at home, misses the plate by a country mile, misses the plate. Now calls him safe.
Yeah.
They go to video review, and are you kidding me, Atlanta? You've got millions and millions of dollars in a brand new stadium. You don't have a camera that's looking over home plate? I'll tell you right now, you should have a camera. You should have a camera 3 feet away looking at the most important base in baseball's home plate. That's where you score the runs. That's where the strikeouts are. That's where the walks are. And you're telling me you don't even have a camera for that crap? And then you want to boo, and everyone says, well, that was a bad call. When I looked at the angle, yeah, we all knew that he was out, but you could not see it definitively. I guarantee Atlanta's going to take a camera, have it hanging over home plate. That's where you can have it. The NFL could have it while the guy's punting and missing the camera. Baseball can have a camera over every home plate to see something like that. It was a bad call. The ump got it wrong. New York got it wrong. Instant replay in baseball's a joke right now. I don't know what's going on with it. I mean, I'm looking at replays going, that guy's out. They come back. The guy's safe. It's like, how's he safe on that play, right? Well, we don't have evidence to see it. And you can see the cameras. Like, come on, baseball. You have the money. Put a camera over there. And especially Atlanta. I guarantee Atlanta will now have a camera over top of home plate because they lost that game, which could cost them come down the stretch for the division, for the playoffs. Who knows what's going on?
Out.
But I mean, hey, you know what? It's all on Atlanta now. On them. They messed up. Have a camera. Rant over.
You always say the rant's over with it. I don't know if it's over.
There might be more rants.
Yeah.
I love baseball, man.
Video review is, you know, I honestly think there's too much video review in sports these days. Used to be like,
I'm all for getting the call right.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
See, I'm all for getting the call
but it's
right.
almost too much.
I mean,
now.
you look.
Taking 2-3 minutes to see if a guy's safe when he's obviously safe.
I mean, look at that perfect game Detroit threw. Remember that a few years ago for Detroit's Garcia or Galarraga or whatever his name was? He threw a perfect game. The last out, this guy was a continent away from hitting home first base. The ump called him safe. And he was out. Ever since then, video review came in. I believe video review can be used if it's a useful tool. You have those baseball nerds who are watching it. As soon as there's a play, they should be right on that video, right away, watching it. So when they do get the 30 seconds that the manager gets, they already have it. Okay. And it takes a minute for the umpires to walk over because, you know, some a little bit more beefier than the others.
Fat.
They put the mics on.
Yep.
And, you know, by then they could have the decision. It ain't that hard. What are they doing? I mean, you're a baseball nerd. What? You're texting the wife, seeing what she's barbecuing at home for when you get home? No. You can be watching. That's what you're supposed to do. That's your job.
Yeah, I told you guys the rant wasn't over. He said he was over, but it's not.
Love baseball. Let's get it right. I love it, the fact that we get to watch the plays, that you want to get it right. Baseball's the easiest game to call. There's no gray areas in baseball. Either you're out safe, ball or strike. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. There's no call. There's no gray area. Football, there is.
Yeah.
Ooh, was that pass interference or not? Was that holding or not? Was that a crackback block or not? You know, well, that's all gray. Penalties and hockey, gray areas.
Yeah. Basketball's
Baseball,
the worst.
safe or out. Safe or out. That's it. That's all. That's all they have to do.
This rant
Like,
is going
geez.
longer than expected.
Okay, I'm done now. Love it.
All right. Because we're going to do this mock draft. We're not going to talk too much about football today. There's some moves a few weeks back. 49ers trading up, Miami trading down, Philly trading down, Miami trading up again. You all know what happened. If you're a football fan, you know. So we're not going to talk too much about that. Deshaun Watson is in so much trouble. It's not even funny. Probably not going to play this year. Might not play anymore, in my opinion. Houston, I don't know if there's a way to cut him without the dead cap. There should be some sort of clause in these contracts that,
No, but that's the thing, right? I mean, if that was the case, Dallas would sign every criminal felon and be like, cut him, right? There has to be a limit on it. But I mean, there's already
I'm just saying it shouldn't be.
Yeah, a couple women have already dropped the case or dropped the charges.
Issue, right?
So like I said, it's something
he's lost all his endorsements.
Yeah,
it's not looking good for Deshaun here.
Yep. And
Houston's gonna probably be the worst team in the NFL next year. Probably get the next great quarterback, and then Deshaun's gonna be. He's not gonna play for Houston ever again. And who knows what happens? Like, there's some guys that have done things in this league and you've never seen them again. Ray Rice never played again. I'm not saying this is the same kind of thing, and innocent till proven guilty, but it is really not looking good for Watson here. That's all I'm going to say about that and the NFL. This show, we're gonna send the invite to our special guest, and we're going to do this mock draft. And I'll explain more rules and trades and stuff once he joins. So if you want to maybe feed up my Deshaun Watson comments and say what's your thoughts on that while we wait for our guest to join.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, sorry, the internet's a little bit spotty here and there today, but
that's okay.
I mean, you got to. I guess. I mean, like I said, I know they said one woman has dropped everything from her, so from the case, we're going to see what happens. It's an unfortunate situation. Here at the DK and the Hawk Show, we don't promote anything that has to do with violence towards women, sexual assault, anything like that to women. Right? We stand on the side of the women who are afraid to come forward, all like that. You have our respect and stuff like that. Depending what happens in this situation, it could be a disgusting situation where he might never play again. But we're gonna let the court. Let's see what happens, and then we'll make our comments on it. It's kind of a tricky situation.
Yeah.
But again, and for the women who are watching this one, don't be afraid to go out there, and if somebody did something bad to you, you got support from a lot of people. Yep.
Everyone has support.
You always. Yep. And it's something that
phone numbers you can call. There's counselors. There's people. Don't be afraid.
Yep.
Everyone has someone in their life that they can go to. Well, hopefully they do. If not, then they have the supports in their local communities and things like that. I want to get back to sports where it's fun. We just talk about the games and who passed touchdowns and things like that.
Let's talk about the New Orleans Saints and their voided contracts. 8 players, $50 million. Seahawks finally decided to void contracts this year. 8 players, $12 million. I mean, eventually New Orleans is going to be in trouble with borrowing from the future cap, right?
Well,
so
that's where I always said we should be called the New Orleans procrastinators, because since Sean and Mickey have shown up here and we keep trying to win, you just borrow from the future, borrow from the future, borrow from the future. You're just going to keep borrowing from the future. And eventually it's going to catch up to us. Like this year, we had to cut like a ton of guys just to get under that floor. And now we're going to roll with the team that we got. It's going to be a interesting year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The
see the
Seahawks
team-
made some.
Still see the team being competitive. Playoff caliber team still. See what happens with Tampa and stuff. If they're going to come out and just be a juggernaut with Tom Brady, or if he's going to start regressing. I assume at one point he is going to regress as a QB. It's amazing what he's done so far at his age. But see what happens.
I think and when does Edelman sign with the Bucks?
No.
When does Edelman sign with the Bucks? He's coming back.
See Gronk on TMZ. Gronk said there's a 69% chance he signs with the Bucks. Gronk is such a tool. I laughed hard.
I think he comes back though.
Maybe.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if Tom and Gronk and Bruce Arians went to Edelman and said, "Would you like to come in?" Like, but what's the point? Like, you won your Super Bowls. You're retiring. You're,
Yeah, but he wants more Super Bowls.
I don't know.
Right
now that we're waiting for Jesse to get in here. So here's a question that I've gone back and forth with all week. I've picked from both sides. Is Edelman a Hall of Famer? I don't think he is with his regular season numbers. He's a playoff Hall of Famer. He's a New England Patriots Hall of Famer, but he's not a Pro Football Hall of Famer. What's your take?
You know what? I mean, at the end of the day, championships win, right? It's all about the ring. How many rings do you have?
Yep.
And that's what's going to get you into the Hall of Fame, I think. I think he gets into the Hall of Fame for what he's done in the playoffs. You don't pay a guy for regular season football. You pay him for playoff football.
Yeah.
You know?
I just look at players. I look at players that aren't in, like Hines Ward. Hines Ward has just like, he doesn't have the total Super Bowl titles, but he has playoff numbers. He has a Super Bowl MVP. He has a couple Super Bowl rings. He's not in, and he was a lot better regular season.
Yeah, I mean, regular season numbers matter, but don't get me wrong, right? Playoffs, where it's at.
Yeah.
You know,
Hall of Fame, again, I don't know. It's hard to figure it out.
Yeah, I think Edelman gets in. I honestly do.
Yep.
So,
well, it's 5 years till he's eligible. I don't see him being a first ballot. It might be 10 years, 15 years. Maybe he's in.
Jesse just sent a message. Do you have the meeting ID? Your link won't work on my laptop.
No.
And Antonio Brown will be a Seahawk here soon. You watch.
Oh my God.
DK, Antonio Brown, and Lockett. I like it. Plus, they've signed Aldon Smith. So, on the other side of Dunlop, with Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams, they're going to be a force to reck with. I think the NFC West will be the toughest division. Yep.
What is happening here? Are you still there, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yep. Here, I sent him another one. He says he's going to use his phone. So, yeah, we'll see. Oh, there we go.
No, I'm looking forward to it. There's a bunch of teams boycotting the OTAs here due to the pandemic.
Yep.
So I don't think you might not see the virtual OTAs again. They want to make mandatory mini camps, but I mean, as you saw last year, even if you're a professional athlete, you still need that. You still need those training camps. You still need the mini camps to get back in. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have 3 exhibition games this year, 17 regular season games. Should be exciting.
Jesse, can you hear us? You're muted.
Hello?
Hey, there you are.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Welcome to the show. We are live right now.
Oh, thanks for having me on, guys.
Yep. Looking forward to it. Our third general manager
if you keep
had
the
to
swearing
cancel.
to the minimum, we can.
Yeah, we try not to swear so we can upload this for kids to do.
Keep the swearing to a minimum, then we can go public.
Fair enough.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a mock. Me and you, Jesse, we are the general managers, and Roger Goodell's wearing the bird hat there. So I have to enter some booing sounds.
That's right.
If you want to make a trade, just be the leader, the fourth pick. If you want to make a trade, just announce the trade before you pick.
Okay, got it.
And what we can do is you can have your own team's pick if you want. I think the Broncos are pick 9, and I don't think the Rams have a first rounder.
Not till 2024, at least.
No, they've been trading some.
No,
Matthew
don't worry, we don't have a
Stafford.
first round either for the next 2 years.
Yeah, Seahawks and the Rams. They don't want to be part of drafts. They got stuff going on in April, so.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, Roger.
Season in Seattle.
All right, Roger, Seahawks.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
So we're going to start off this draft. Who's going first? Is Dan going first?
Well, I think we should let our special guest, Jesse Drebit, known St. Louis / LA Rams fan. He's been known to cheer for the Broncos too. I'd like to give him a hard time for having 2 teams, but it's all in good fun. And welcome to the show. And let's let our guest of honor be the first pick and see if he goes off the board with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't expect him to.
Well, you shouldn't expect any shockers here because with the first overall pick in 2021, I am going to go with Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson.
Ooh, we want Wilson. No, just kidding.
Fans are going to be
not a surprise there.
Yeah, that doesn't take a lot of analysis. He's the number 1 guy since the Jets beat I can't remember who they beat. Was it the Rams?
I remember who they beat.
I can't remember. It was the Rams. Since the Jets won that game, the pick has been in.
Yeah, it was week 15. I'm still having Vietnam flashbacks about that loss in week 15.
Oh my God. I think we boxed that,
A lot of people lost money that day.
In our pools ticket.
I think so.
I think we boxed that one. And we lost Monday night and lost like $100,000. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right.
All good times. All right, second pick. The New York Jets. Haven't traded out. There's talk of it.
Yeah. I thought they were going to trade out of this, but then Darnold got moved to the Panthers. So this is locked in. Zach Wilson to the Jets, BYU quarterback. He looks like a Disney Channel quarterback, but we're going with Zach Wilson. Number 2.
Number 2, Zach Wilson. All right, we're going to go down to 3. I know that this is Jesse's one of his favorite teams, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, well, I like them a little bit better than the Seahawks, obviously, but you know.
This is where the draft starts.
With the third pick, I think San Francisco is going to go quarterback, And I think it's going to be Mac Jones out of Alabama.
That's the
Yeah.
safe pick. I disagree with that pick just because I don't think Mac Jones is a better version of Jimmy Garoppolo. Find similar quarterbacks. That's a lot to trade up, but I respect your pick, and we'll move to number 4. And this is the first trade. I have the New England Patriots trading up to number 4, the Atlanta Falcons, for number 15, second rounder, and 2022 first. And they select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Oh,
Going with the hometown kid.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You want to
interesting.
mark? Can you mark that trade down, Ezra Hawk, so we can make sure Atlanta gets that
If I had a pen
15th pick?
If I had a pen and piece of paper.
Well, I'll try to remember when the Patriots
remember
pick. It's Atlanta's
Yeah.
pick now. But we can also
Atlanta's
you
pick,
can make
so
other trades if you want to do some more trade downs and stuff. So
Well, we could, and there's probably gonna be a few. There will be a surprise. Let's go to Jesse with the Cincinnati Bengals pick. Do they go offensive line?
I think that they do. I think they need to protect Joe Burrow's blind side, so they're going to go with Penei Sewell out of Oregon.
nice
Yeah,
pick.
I think so too. They need to protect their future.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if
So-
Burrow's going to be ready. I think I heard like November is when he's coming back, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, hopefully he can come back for the beginning of the year. But yeah, I've heard situations too. So the next pick, Miami Dolphins.
Miami
This
Dolphins.
is actually who I had going to the Bengals. I have wide receiver Jamar Chase going to the Dolphins in this mock. I have him going to the Bengals, who has the old LSU connection between Chase and Burrow. They both had their career years when they were together. But Jamar Chase falls to the Dolphins, and the Dolphins get basically a superstar after trading down and getting all those extra picks, and they still get a guy that they will be very happy with.
That's who I have at number 6, as well as I have Jamar Chase going to the Dolphins as well.
Perfect. Now we get to a sad franchise, the Detroit Lions. Who do the Lions take?
Well, they got a superstar quarterback now. Superstar.
Have you seen how good he looks? He's like a Ryan Gosling type,
He's a handsome guy.
He's a very handsome guy.
Gonna love those Detroit winters.
Yes, he's gonna love it. So with the Detroit Lions, I think after losing Kenny Golladay and a whole bunch of starting receivers in the offseason, I think they're gonna pick Jalen Waddle out of Alabama. Give Goff a weapon to use downfield. So I think Jalen Waddle is going to be the pick here.
Jalen Waddle, second receiver off the board. That's pretty much what I've had penciled into. So we're pretty on par with our picks so far here.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
We're going to 8. Carolina making a trade against Darnell there. Who does Carolina pick to beef up there? Remember, they went all defense last year in the draft.
Well,
Do they
this
stick with
pick
that?
scares the living out of me being a Saints fan because I don't want to play this guy twice a year. This guy might go down as the best player in this draft in 2 or 3 years. Kyle Pitts to Carolina, tight end out of Florida. He can play receiver. He runs a 4.4. No safety or linebacker can cover this guy. He's gonna be a perennial fantasy all-star. So Kyle Pitts to the Panthers at 8.
Future
Yeah,
Hall
him
of
and McCaffrey, right? Yep.
Yeah,
Him and
you put Kyle Pitts and McCaffrey on the same side of the field. That's scary matchups.
Just going to be a matter if McCaffrey can stay healthy, unlike he did last year. So as long as he's on the field, I think Carolina's going to gel with that offense.
Yep.
Yep. Their defense is looking good too. So
Yeah, we'll see how
maybe
Sam
one of those sleeper
Darnold
teams.
can play. Right. Didn't really have a good shot in New York, so see how he does in Carolina.
And I think he can play. I think he will thrive in Carolina. I think Matt Rule's going to get him pointed in the right direction.
Yep, I think so too.
All right.
All right, well, we'll go to Jesse's second favorite team, the Denver Broncos.
Now, this one's going to be a little bit of a surprise because I know you guys have been talking about a certain linebacker for the last couple of weeks, but it's not going to be that linebacker. It is going to be Zaven Collins out of Tulsa.
Ooh.
Wow. It's off the board.
Not their linebacker we were expecting.
Really?
Yeah, I think they got to look at a guy that's got to replace. They got to look at life after Von Miller here pretty soon, and I think that time is just around the corner.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Or, they've always been built on defense, and we all know that John Elway doesn't know what he's doing. So, good on him. Let's.
I think he's.
Now we're
I don't
doing-
think he's a GM anymore, anyways.
No, I mean he messed up, right? I think trying to find that perfect quarterback, and he let a few slip through. So, well, let's start our NFC East run. Number 10, the Dallas Cowboys.
America's team.
This is
Who are
gonna
they
be
going
big.
with?
Okay. This is an easy pick for me. Super need for Dallas. Still on the board. Patrick Surtain, the second from Alabama, cornerback. Could go down as the top defensive player in this draft. He's a long corner. He's fast. He can cover. Yeah, so Patrick Surtain, easy pick for me for Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's where I got him as well. I got him going to the Cowboys.
They'll be happy with that pick, as much as Cowboy fans are happy. So now let's go to the New York Giants.
The
Who are the
G-Man.
Giants picking there, Jesse?
So how did the Giants win 2 Super Bowls in 5 years? They had solid offensive line play and they had solid defensive line play. So I think they're going to go with Gregory Rousseau out of University of Miami.
Yeah, edge rusher.
Liking it.
He's one of the top edge rushers in the game. I have in my personal mock, I have him at the end of the first round, so this is a bit of a reach, and that's just my opinion. I could see the Giants trading down if they wanted him, but that is still a very good pick. And yeah, I can't argue with Gregory Rousseau to New York.
But the Giants are going to trade up for him?
No, I
they usually do?
I don't see him going as high as 11. I could see them maybe trading down to like 18 or 19 and taking them, but you never know. New York,
They have
David
made some reaches
Gettleman,
before, right? So
David Gettleman sees a player he likes, he takes him. He doesn't care. Like taking Daniel Jones. And
Well, look at that. Daniel Jones is a perfect example of that.
at 6, and yeah,
he saw him in a half of a game for the Senior Bowl and said, "That's our future quarterback."
basically.
Yeah, that's where you run into stuff.
And then he
Yep.
trips 80 yards down the field. Playoff fantasy pools gone.
Well, if you have
Gone.
Daniel Jones
That
on your
was
team,
great.
then you're not winning fantasy pools. So if you're counting on Daniel
Well,
Jones
hey.
to win you a title, then all
Hey,
right.
I mean,
I won a title. I won a title with Peyton Hillis.
I don't want to
Remember
hear.
that,
I
Dan?
don't want to hear about this
3
anymore.
touchdowns, 37 yards, 3 touchdowns, and I beat him.
I lost that championship match to Jeff because Michael Vick fumbled in the fourth quarter,
oh, I
and
thought
he
you, I
had
thought you
this
just
white
lost it.
fullback. This white fullback with 3 touchdowns and 5 yards. Oh
Yeah.
my god!
I was just
Losing
going
it.
to say you lost to a fullback.
And then they put him on Madden. He
It
was
was
a
great. He was
covered
mad.
athlete. What the hell?
Oh, the joys, eh?
I didn't even
I
want to
didn't-
buy
for
that
the
game.
record,
I saw Peyton Hillis on the cover. I'm like, I'm not buying this. Screw this guy.
For the record,
right.
I didn't buy the Peyton Hillis cover. I bought the Marshall Falk cover because Peyton Hillis, come on.
Yeah. That was
Oh,
back when you
man.
actually had to buy
I love it.
copies of the games. Now
Yeah.
it just goes right on the system, so it doesn't matter.
Technology, man.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Number 12. Fly, Eagles, fly. Who are they going with there, Dan?
well, they could go a number of directions with this pick. I have them going receiver, but I may make a change here. Yeah, you know, I'm going to stick with it. Heisman winner, Devontae Smith, sitting there. You need more weapons for Jalen Hurts. They could go a number of positions here. Philly is needing everything at this point. It's hard to pass up on a skill set of Devontae Smith. So Devontae Smith out of Alabama, third receiver off the board to the Eagles.
That's what I got
Yep.
as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles shock everyone and take a quarterback in the first round.
Yep.
Whoa,
There is-
We'll get to the Green Bay pick later when they take a quarterback. So.
My pick that the 49ers take in my mock is still on the board. So I'm thinking there
All right.
might be a trade up coming
Oh,
here.
and I think the Eagles will get a top 5 pick next year, anyways. That is a dumpster fire of a team.
Yeah.
So, pick
Jalen
well
Hurts
this year,
for
pick
1
well
year,
next year.
and then they'll blow it up.
Let's move to San Diego. Oh, wait a minute. The Los Angeles Chargers.
There you go.
We're taking over the Rams Stadium this year.
Oh, come on.
Just call it Charger Stadium, featuring the Rams,
I think it'd be the other way around, but you know,
probably.
at least our ownership isn't fighting within each other right now and sending each other to the court.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, the
man.
sister wants to sell the team, so
Yeah, exactly.
what do you do? What do you do?
All right. Who's the Chargers taking, Jesse?
So earlier we were talking about Sam Darnold being a little bit of protection in Carolina, a little bit. I think the Chargers are going to go the same route and keep Justin Herbert upright. So I think they're going to go with Landon Dickerson out of Alabama.
Good solid pick.
Landon Dickerson.
Protecting that.
Okay.
But I mean, they should go defense as well. But I think their top priority is keeping Justin Herbert healthy and letting him sling that ball around all day long.
Yep. And in this day and age, those quarterbacks have always been protected, right? They get to the NFL, they have no protection. They don't know what to do.
That's right.
You know, and they're getting blown up. They're getting hit hard. I mean, you look at guys like Griffin, those guys who ran, compared to, I'll bring up Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson doesn't take big hits. And then you complain you got a good O-line. So you need a good O-line.
Russ is smart about
Especially
it, though.
in that
Like,
division.
if he knows to run, and he usually gets out away scot-free.
Yep. When he does take a hit, you know, when he tries to do too much, that's when he fumbles. But usually he knows he's getting hit. He protects himself. So, but you never want to see a young quarterback like the guys who are going to run this league in 5 years from now get hurt right off the hop, right? Seeing
Exactly.
Burrows go down, that was a sad sight. Same with Dak with his ankle, right? Never want to see that.
Never.
So those are the guys that make us money.
Unless you're Dan,
so,
and you want to see Dak flip his ankle, you know, the other way.
yeah. Well, hey, I heard that Kevin James is going to be playing Sean Payton in a movie.
I saw that.
I'm serious, man.
It's
coming out. Kevin James.
I know. King of Queens. Yeah, it's supposed to be about the year that he was suspended and he coached a kids football team. So
he went from
I
mall
don't know,
cop
Kevin James
to NFL
doesn't
coach.
look like Sean Payton.
Oh, I can't wait.
Is that movie just going to be an hour and a half of Kevin James just sitting on his couch at home?
I think
hope
so. Hey man, he
They could just
can
like
flip coins
show
like I do.
2 episodes of King of Queens and put a Saints hat on them.
Yeah.
This is what he would do, Dan. He's like, Dallas Stars, they run. NHL, they pass. Oh, Dallas Stars, they run the ball. So,
Yeah, if you guys watched our WWE preview show, the Coins had a better record than me. Predictions. So
that's right. And the coins were great. So let's get to Dan's
where are we at here?
favorite team. Dan's favorite team at
Easy
14, the Minnesota Vikings. He still has flashbacks from the old, we won't say it. But who do the Vikings go?
Right.
Love the Jefferson pick last year. Do they follow that up with wide receiver?
Yeah, I think
Running back?
they could go a number of directions here. There's a offensive lineman that I think will go in the top 10 that's still on our board here, but it's not a big need as I have the Vikings taking J.C. Horn, cornerback out of South Carolina, still being on the board. So, yep, I think he's the second best corner in this draft. So him still being there, I believe the Vikings take J.C. Horn, South Carolina.
So he'll probably play opposite Patrick Peterson then, you figure?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Not sure yet.
If the old man still got it.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Peterson, good in his day. It just, just didn't. That's the one guy that got the karma. He was mouthing off how good he was and never got a sniff to the Super Bowl, did he? Compared to the other guys in the corners. But we'll see what happens. Right? Minnesota Vikings, I think, are going to I can see them taking the NFC East, or North, this year.
Really?
So,
well, I picked them last year and they made me look foolish, so I'm not doing that anymore.
I just, they have a solid team, right?
Till Rodgers leaves. Yep.
Yeah, well, it depends. Again, we'll get to the Packers pick here. We're all expecting them to take a quarterback. So,
obviously, that's a lock at this point.
Yeah, let's go to
this is
probably the most hated.
This is the trade.
Let's go to the most. Yes, let's go to. We'd say the most hated trade was the Patriots, or the team that me and Jesse hate the most. But now it's the Falcons. So who do the Falcons now? Do they get Matty Ice and weapons, defense?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yep. Just the trade down from 4.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Well, oh man, I mean, Atlanta could go a whole bunch of different ways here. I see. This is the confusing pick to me because I don't know what Atlanta's gonna like for this draft. Obviously, Atlanta's traded down, but I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, I did have Kyle Pitts initially going to Atlanta with the 4th overall pick. But now this trade down has in that spot though, I initially had Justin Fields actually going to New England if we didn't do that trade up or that trade down. That was my initial pick. But
you had Fields lasting till 15?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess Justin Fields.
Well, you're the Atlanta Falcons GM here.
Yeah, and
you go with what you think.
Yeah, basically.
Another trade down, maybe another trade scenario.
Yeah, maybe. You know what? I think they'll go. Actually, I think they're going to go corner. Actually, I think they could probably use another corner on that secondary. And I think they're going to go with, this will be another high pick, kind of a shocker a little bit. I think they're going to go with Asante Samuel Jr.
Yeah.
Good pick.
I think his
yeah, that would be a little off the board, but not extremely off the board.
Yeah, I didn't want to reach too much, but Asante Samuel Jr. I think is a good fit in Atlanta.
Hey, good pick.
Thank you.
Yep.
So
No, for
who's
sure.
I don't have the draft board in front of me.
We are
So
now
who's
going.
next year, Mr. Jubel?
We are now going to the only place that takes their stadium field outside to get sun. The Arizona Cardinals.
Not anymore. Vegas does it too.
Yes.
Vegas does
That they
that too.
do.
I don't know if you knew that. Arizona Cardinals.
I did.
Okay.
The Arizona Cardinals with Hopkins, with little tiny Kyler Murray. What do they go with? They just signed, who did they sign? That running back.
James
Wade.
Jordan.
Yes.
Trade number 2. This is Trey Lance is sitting there. Quarterback needy teams don't want to wait. The Washington football team trade pick 19 and next year's first rounder to the Arizona Cardinals for quarterback Trey Lance, going to the Washington football team in this spot. I don't think Trey Lance will last this long, and there's some teams, quarterback needy teams, that will definitely take a swing at getting him. So that's my pick for the Washington football team. So Arizona slides down to 19.
To 19.
To 19, and they pick up Washington's first next year, which could be worth a lot because I don't see Trey Lance being a starter year one. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with their quarterback situation, Washington. I don't think Trey Lance will be the starter though in 2021.
Well, they're going to have Fitzpatrick for a year, so maybe Trey Lance can learn under Fitzpatrick for a year.
Fitzpatrick, yeah. I knew they signed a veteran. I was just trying to remember who it was. Yes, so that is a situation like a Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith, where he sat behind him. I'm not saying Ryan Fitzpatrick is Alex Smith, but that's a scenario I have.
That's good.
Nice. I think I honestly, I don't know. I think watching that back four or that front four, sorry, was going to. I think they're going to give Dallas a run for their money on that division. So, I mean, who knows, right?
Well, I think that that NFC East could come down to those 2 games between Washington and Dallas. So yeah, for sure, I definitely see your point.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah,
and I can see. I mean, the Eagles aren't going to have a good team this year, so there should be some easy games there. But we don't know what the NFC East do. They are a weird division. It used to be like the NFC West for a while. It was just trash, and now it's like the best division in football.
I miss the days in the NFC West where you could get into the playoffs at 7 and 9.
I don't remember when Jesus beat the Rams for the NFC West, and then they beat the Saints with the Beastquake touchdown.
Yep.
I was over at Dan's house for that one.
Yes, you were.
And he was so
surprised that you survived that day.
I'm surprised.
He just looks at me as.
That's a good game, to be honest.
Hey, whoa, we're not Cowboy fans.
No.
Cowboy fans don't
we'll
allow
invite our friends over.
It was a good game, though.
You guys can't come over. You guys are mean.
And smart. Yeah, you guys are mean. You're going to bug us.
Of course we are. That's what we do. We harass each other.
What do you do? So.
Yeah. So where are we at now?
We're going to move on to the Los Angeles Raiders.
Las Vegas, you mean?
At 17. Las Vegas, sorry. They have so many losses in that division anyways, in that team, so we'll see what happens.
I was wondering when we went to 1982, I was like, Los Angeles Raiders.
Yeah.
I'm like, did they move again?
They might as well all move to Los Angeles.
Why not? Just put the whole division in Los Angeles, have an LA division. No one leaves. It's COVID, right? So you just bubble the teams and they just play each other.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
I do that, but Jesse's on the board with the Raiders.
All right. I think the Raiders are going to need some help in the secondary there. to slow down Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. So I think they are going to go with Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech.
Liking it.
Caleb Farley free fall stops at the Raiders pick. I like it. I had Caleb Farley going in the top 10 before his surgery. So this is a great pick for Vegas. He's supposed to be ready by training camp too, so I assume.
Perfect.
Yeah. So just so
Now,
you guys know, we got 10
the-
minutes left in this on this recording. So when we get close, we're just gonna stop it and then we'll start a brand new one and we'll upload 2 videos today.
Okay, works for me.
We got a 40-minute time limit when it comes
going
to
18.
the 3-way conversations.
Well, usually something pops up that says it's free.
Yeah, it's not doing that today.
But
So
who knows? Okay. Zoom being cheap. Come on, Zoom.
Yep.
You want another rant?
come on, Zoom.
Yeah. At least,
No rant
at
on
least it's better
Zoom.
than Be Live.
They're nice to us.
All right.
All right.
Again, my
Where are we at,
sister's
Roger?
favorite team, which should surprise you. My sister's favorite team, because they are not that good. The Miami Dolphins at 18.
I mean, they're
Fans
building
on the clock.
quite the team here. Miami Dolphins on the
Do they
clock.
trade down with this pick? Do they trade down?
I don't think so. I think they're gonna go best player available and take Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, the top 10 talent. He had a little bit of trouble there that came out during the combine. I think the free fall of Parsons stops at this pick, and Miami, since they have multiple firsts, they can kind of take a risk on this. The talent is there. He had some hazing issues at Penn State that he's addressed and apologized for. Miami takes Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Good.
They all seem to apologize for the hazing.
Yep.
But good on them. To be a man, you got to apologize sometimes for your mistakes you made. So, all right, we're going to go now at 19. And Jesse's on the clock with the Arizona Cardinals.
This is the trade down, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think Arizona could use some help on the offensive line a little bit. So I think they're going to go with the offensive guard out of USC, Elijah Vera Tucker.
Great pick.
Yeah. Yep.
Just because that's
protect
what
Murray,
I was going to do.
give some room for Hopkins to do his thing.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, give Kyler a little bit more time. I think, I know Kyler can win games with his legs, but he can't win games with his arm just yet. And I think that's where Cliff Kingsbury wants to kind of give him a little nudge, is to win games with his arm. So I think this will give Murray a little bit of time to, find Hopkins and all those other guys downfield.
Yeah, that's
I
a
like
good
it. It's going to, like I said,
pick.
it's going to be a hell of a, hell division in the NFC West.
For sure.
All right. Let's move on to the Red Rifles team. The Chicago Bears, picking 20. What are they doing there, Dan?
I can't believe this guy's still here. And maybe I missed him being picked, so you guys can tell me if I missed it. But Northwestern left tackle, Rashawn Slater, still on the board, in my opinion, which is shocking. I had him being the second tackle gone after Sewell in the top 10 in my mock. So I really don't think he would be around in the actual NFL draft at this point. But Rashawn Slater goes to the Bears in this mock. It's kind of crazy that he's still around. So that's who I'm going with, Rashawn Slater.
I mean, you look at DK Metcalf dropping down to the second round, right? Sometimes
It happens.
guys just fall.
There's
and when
experts
they're there,
saying Slater could go before Sewell in some situations, the way the draft goes. So we'll see what happens.
last year's biggest shocker was CeeDee Lamb dropping to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You know, so you never know, right?
I don't know if it's a shock. I don't know if that's a shock.
I was
as
surprised
much
he
as
was
people
still
think.
there. You know,
Yeah.
this is what I do. And for you guys, for our fans, this is what I do in the first round. I usually mow the lawn, do a bunch of yard stuff. Even if the Seahawks are in the first round, they usually trade out. So very rare do I get to enjoy a first round draft.
Or they take like a running back when they have 3 already.
That's right. And then he gets hurt. He wasn't supposed to get hurt.
That's why he trades, because he doesn't know how to draft. Good at the
You're
contract
still living off that
negotiations.
20.
You can't draft.
You're still living off the Wagner, Wilson, Irving draft.
Yeah, it was
It's
a
one of
good
the
draft.
best drafts there is. And Bleacher Report,
All right,
he gave
21.
that draft an F. Yeah, how's it turn out now, Bleacher Report? All right, 21. The team that has the most fragile quarterback in the league, the Indianapolis Colts, after having the quarterback who has the most kids in the league. Who's the Colts going with there, Jesse?
Well, I think Carson's going to have a bounce back year this year. With that offensive line that's down there in Indianapolis, it's probably got to be a top 3, top 5 offensive line. But I think they're going to add to that rising defense, and they're going to go with an edge rusher. And with that, they're going to go with Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia.
Oh, liking it. I mean, I
like that
mean,
pick.
the Colts do have a great defense, right?
They're only.
And I mean,
I was just gonna say they're only going to get better, and this will be the year that the defense, really takes that next step, I think.
yeah, no, for sure, and I agree with that one. I mean, they were great last year. They had a hiccup against Pittsburgh there in the regular season when they blew that 24-point lead and then lost to the Bills in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna, win that division this year. It's theirs for the taking, I think. Yep. No, I agree. Now we're going to go to the AFC South winning team last year, and the Tennessee Titans. Who do the Titans take their down?
I see Tennessee going offense here. There's a bunch of receivers still on the board. This could be a situation where they trade down, but I'm gonna take Rondell Moore, wide receiver out of Purdue, at a fourth. I think it was a 4.29 40, very fast receiver, to pair him with. Sorry, I'm spacing on the receiver, AJ Brown from Tennessee. If you can get some speedsters, and you can use the play action game with Derrick Henry.
Yep.
That's really going to help that offense. So I see Tennessee going receiver, and my pick would be Rondell Moore, Purdue.
You think Tannehill has a good year this year again?
Yeah. That division's not great. Houston's going to be a dumpster fire. Jacksonville's, they're going to have like a better team, but they're still Jacksonville.
It'll be the Colts, Tennessee, I think.
Indy and Tennessee will be battling. I see them being maybe 10-6 playoff team, wildcard team.
Remember a couple years ago when Tannehill got picked off by the scout team and yelled at him?
Yep, I do remember that.
Classic. It's like,
okay, so
we'll
cut this video. We'll cut this video at this pick, and then we'll pick right back up. So I'll send you guys an invite to the next one here in the next minute or two.
Sounds good. Okay. I'm going to go water some plants outside. YouTube, I did not swear.
Sounds good. We'll be back in a few minutes.